Hello and welcome to another update video about the DXY. Yeah, the DXY moved through the resistance, I think that I highlighted in the last video, which made a direct continuation down in an impulse that we had on the chart here, less likely in my view. We basically get a more, you could say a more complicated pattern onto the chart now. Nothing that would change my overall expectation in that I am still looking for a lower low here in this C wave overall, of the DXY into the low $90 region. Best idea I have for this wave count now is that we're probably still unfolding in a C wave at the moment. So that's basically, there are two ideas I have, okay? They're both quite complex. They're both not really great patterns to deal with. Very choppy and very difficult. So let's talk about the two and I'll tell you my personal preference as well. Nevertheless, just because I have a personal preference doesn't mean it would need to be the most likely pattern. They are both highly likely that I show you. And the problem is, the problem that we have here is that this complex pattern will make probably the next few months very, very choppy and difficult, and mostly sideways action. So it will become a boring chart in my opinion. I can tell you that. So the idea is that price obviously still came down in an A wave off the September 22 highs. No problem. No change at all. The idea is still that a B wave could have unfolded with a top on the 7th of March. So no change until March. But now here we have a bit of a change. So let's talk about the first scenario in which we already are in the C wave. However, so what we had was a potential impulse, but it needed to follow through to the downside, which it didn't do. So as you can see here, we have a bit of a corrective, counter move, but it's not making any higher highs or anything at the moment. So I'm still focused on the downside, but I think it could be unfolding as an ending diagonal. We get so many diagonals at the moment in different asset classes. So I can't see them anymore, but I can't stand them anymore, but they are still there. They exist, okay? Unfortunately, can't ban them, okay? I can't ban them from the markets. They are there. So this would mean we probably get a much less steep and much more choppy price action over the coming months. Oftentimes these diagonals, they unfold as price channels or wedge patterns. What you need to understand is that the difference between an impulse and a diagonal is that the diagonal is much more choppy, much more difficult to forecast. When we deal with micro counts, we have to expect morphing counts, we have to expect changing counts. And the subwaves, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they exist of 3 wave structures. So also here, A, B, C in wave 1. The wave 2 would be an ABC most likely. Then here, A, B, C in wave 3. So what we can do now with this wave count is to identify resistance for this wave 2. And resistance for the wave 2 sits between, between $102.73 and $104.54. I think this is for me at the moment the preference, an ending diagonal. Is another way of looking at it possible? Yes, I would say the other possibility is that this B wave is still unfolding. That could go a bit higher. So we have a very clear pivot point, 104.54. I don't want a wave 2 really to go and sustain above that level. It's also structural resistance here, the May high. But if we break above that level, that is when I would say, okay, we're probably still in this complex B wave. Probably then as some kind of an expanded flat pattern or running flat, A wave, overshooting B wave to the downside, and then a C wave to the upside. But let's see where. First we need to understand, do we find resistance at around or in this red zone? If we don't find resistance here and it breaks above $104.54, it's most likely going to push a little higher in this B wave. What would be a common target for the B wave? So let's just double check that as well. I mean, the maximum I would want it to go to is $108.26. Okay, so if it breaks above 104.54, it should be able to rally to 108 roughly. But that should be it. I don't really want it to go any higher than that. So that's sort of what I'm watching for at the moment. Again, what you need to understand to be reassured is that I don't currently see any evidence that our assumption is not going to be followed through. Yeah, the assumption would be priced into the low $90 region. However, it could take longer to get there and it will be much more choppy. Okay, that's my update about the DXY. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.